Yo, Trevor here with a down-well flavored update for Indie Pogo. For the next big update to the game, we've been going through and adding new attacks to every fighter. Everyone now has a side special, as well as 3 melee attacks, which have their own dedicated button. In order to do so, we had to move some attacks around for a few fighters to make sure everything fit properly, Welltaro being one of those fighters. But like always, our goal is to keep things as faithful as possible, while also bringing new options and better balance to the game. So without further ado, let's get to it. If you recall, we had the machine gun attached to his air jump. He can still maneuver around as needed so long as he has ammo. And my personal favorite, the laser, is his down special. The heart balloon is still a 2-part move that can only be a weak recovery or an attack, but not both at the same time. And the last unchanged move is his grounded charge, the rocket jump. And with those out of the way, let's get into some attacks that are either changed or completely new. The shotgun used to be his neutral special. In its place, we added the triple module. Its function is relatively similar, but has slightly better diagonal coverage. The reason we removed the shotgun is because it's been moved onto his side special. Welltaro's horizontal game was always an intended weakness, but he fell to the bottom tier because he was so limited. Hopefully you'll think that this is a worthy compromise. His melee attacks are all inspired by the different styles from Downwell. His down melee is boulder style, side melee is arm spin style, and his up melee is handstand style. These are nice because not only do they cover some of his weak areas, but they also give him options for getting in your enemy's face, rather than spam endlessly from above. I'm sure it's hard to tell just by looking, but these feel awesome in execution. I'm also quite happy with how they reference the original game. If you recall, his super move was Gem High. Because it was a buff that lasted for a set period of time, using it devolved into having the enemy run away until the buff ended. So now, he gets it as a passive trait after earning a good combo. All of his gun boot attacks are buffed until he takes a hit, which forces enemies to attack instead of run away. And he is deadly when Gem High is left uncontested. So with Gem High being moved to a passive, I'm proud to show off his new super move, Time Void, which references Downwell more than anything else so far. Players have a set period of time where they are untouchable and can choose one of 3 upgrades. We had to make a few changes to some upgrades to make them fit our mechanics, so I'll go through all 11 real quick. Candle is pretty straightforward. He has a period after taking a hit where he cannot be comboed. Safety Jetpack functions as expected, letting him slow fall after using all of his ammo. And of course he can only use the Safety Jetpack until it runs out once per jump. Gem Sick is something where we took some liberties. In Indie Pogo, it doubles the amount of gems you can get from a combo. So in other words, if I get a combo of 2, I'll receive 4 gems when I land. For obvious reasons, this is a great upgrade to get early on in a match. Next up is the Heart Balloon. In addition to increasing the explosion damage, it will also auto-ignite when an enemy touches it, meaning they can no longer pop it risk-free, and it may ignite on them if they are comboing you. It's kinda hard to tell from a video, but I'm not pressing the button to ignite it. This next one was tricky due to cannibalism connotations. Knife and Fork lets you heal when you are the one to kill an enemy. Rather than touch their body though, the enemy spawns a knife fork icon that Welltaro can pick up. This restores 5 HP. So hopefully that's a clever enough of a workaround. One of my personal favorites is the Blast module. When jumping on an enemy's head, his damage is increased from 3 to 5. The knockback from the blast also makes it a great tool for denying an enemy from returning to the stage if they've fallen off. Just like in the original, Youth gives Welltaro a 4th option to choose from when in the Time Void. In Indie Pogo, it also increases his max HP from 50 to 55, and heals the difference. You may have noticed that we took hot casings off of his neutral special, since it used to be on the shotgun. That's because it's an upgrade that applies to all gun boot attacks. Much like before, any enemy that touches a hot casing will take 1 damage, which can add up somewhat quickly. For this next one, we actually pulled from outside of his normal upgrade pool. The Puncher module is an upgrade that permanently changes Welltaro's machine gun air jump to a Puncher air jump. At the moment, I think it's fair to say that we have a little bit more balancing to do before it's just right. The last upgrade that stacks is the Gem Attractor. Much like with Gemsick, we had to make a change to bring it somewhere that would work for Indie Pogo. If you do enough damage in a short period of time, Gem Attractor lets you steal a gem from the enemy. It's available for any fighter to pick up, however. Let's see if I can actually get one. There we go. There's one more upgrade that works a little bit differently from the rest. The apple only appears if you only have 2 upgrades left in your pool, or 3 left if you've already selected Youth. Eating the apple doesn't take it out of the pool either, so Welltaro will always have a use for his gems. Upon consumption, he heals 10 HP. So yeah, with all these upgrades being able to stack, he has the potential to be a force to be reckoned with. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how we've handled the latest update. And before I forget, we still need to show you the downwell stage. Just like in the original, this is a vertical stage with tall walls and precarious platforms. There are also blocks in various places that all fighters can break open, and each one has a 1 in 7 chance of housing a gem too. Oh, and players can also jump on the torches to get their special moves back. What's nice is this technically doesn't count as them landing on the ground, so it won't cash in your combos. And of course unique to Welltaro is that torches restore all of his ammo. Yeah, and since we spend a decent amount of time here, they reignite every so often. So yeah, at this point I don't really have much more to say. I hope you like these new additions though. I know just from my own test plays that all of this adds so much more depth, and the stage has a nice tension every time someone breaks open a red block. There's very much a scramble to steal the gem from your enemies, which is a pretty unique touch. Anyway, thanks for watching. See ya.